still right now I'm kind of ashamed to say this because of how old I am. But when I first started, I had 2 grand to my name. I was 32. You can't sleep, especially when you feel broke at the age that I was. Uh, so much shame, really. I mean, I still feel shame for it, but I'm in such a better place right now. But I see somebody peek through the not curtains. They just have like a blanket, you know. He shows up, unlocks the door, opens it. I'm like, 2 feet behind him. This smell just hits me. Whoa. Out of the 25 to 30 deals that I've done, I really haven't had to worry about getting them moved. I know you know me like over the phone and like this, and I'm friendly. I like to think that I'm a likable person,
Hmm.
but I'm not a pushover. I will
Okay.
say this: the more deals you do, the more stern you'll get. You'll
That's
learn
good.
like nope, and you'll be more honest with future sellers.
Cool, man. Dude, it's awesome to see you.
Yeah, you too, man. I feel like
That's good.
I've watched so many of your videos and these podcasts like years ago, like when I'm 33. When I was like 27, 28, I stumbled
Just a
across your
baby.
podcast. Yeah,
Yeah, that long
yeah,
ago, man. It took you
yeah,
that
yeah.
long.
And
No
that long
way.
ago, I almost got into your program until I made another move in my life.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. We talked about that before. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
So what it was that really like pushed me to move forward with doing it was I was doing pretty good investing my money in the market and with crypto. And I just had so much time to kill. I started working with some friends of mine, putting out swimming pools. And one day we were just driving, to this job location. And I was looking at all the mobile homes, and I'm just sitting here thinking, like, what do people need? People need a roof over their head. Mobile homes. Oh, there's that guy, John Fedro. You know, well, let me just check him out. So,
He's
and
still doing what
actually,
he's doing.
yeah, yeah. And before I checked you out, I started to drive by mobile home parks and just look for homes for sale, and it was very overwhelming. I was like, okay, let me find John on YouTube. Yeah, I took that. There was you sign up for like it was like a practice module or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so I did that, and I watched all the videos, and I was already set on I'm gonna invest my money with mobile homes one way or another, do rent houses or something. But yeah, I ended up signing up for your course, and geez, I'm glad I did
One
because
year later,
yeah, yeah,
here
one
we
year
are,
later,
man.
yeah,
Seriously, that did not take a long. That was a fast and a slow year. Like you got done a lot of stuff, but it like I guess they all go by kind of fast. But
yeah. Well, when I first started, man, I remember you saying it's like a snowball effect, but I was kind of waiting for that snowball to get bigger, and like the first 6 months, just like, man, I guess this is as good as it's gonna get for me. Then then things just started rolling. I was like, whoa, like this is okay. Wow, it's getting a lot better.
dude, good.
Yeah,
Heck yeah. Let's. You ready to jump into this?
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we got some. We're already talking good stuff. All right. Well, let's do this. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here in the Mobile Home Investing Lessons podcast. Special thank you to Lyndell, the guy I'm looking at right now. Lyndell, this is cool to to see you. And we talk. We used to talk most days of the week. Now we talk maybe every 3 or 4 days or something like that. But you definitely know a lot more, and you are way more comfortable in just how you talk and the attitude that you have towards this business. Um, Thank you for being here. I'll be quiet. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me,
Dude.
and
Um,
thank you for this. So,
this is you. All the ingredients were there. You put in the work that was needed to to improve your mind and you just your education and then put in all the action and overcome and be uncomfortable for the last year. You were uncomfortable, and I'd like to say something so people know that you're the real deal. I don't know if that's the right term, but you something you were mentioning that this was maybe a month or less than a month ago, but you in your first year, which we're almost have worked together a full year, you have netted over 6 figures in this business, which is freaking
mhm.
huge. Like most people don't make that money in like a regular job out of college or like, and you've had your ups, definitely. You've had some downs as well. And so I want to talk about that, or talk to some about, that on today's call. Um,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think that I was gonna make that much, especially in the beginning when I first started. Uh,
yeah.
because, like I was saying earlier, like the first few months, it didn't take me long to get my first mobile home. I think when I signed up with your program, and I was actually putting my butt out there working, like uh, that time, that was a stressful time.
You can like, chills just thinking about it. What was so bad
Yeah.
about it? Or what was like,
What? Well, really, what was so bad about it was when I first signed up for your course, it wasn't that it was putting in the work. It was that I actually went through. Uh, I went through a hard time financially. Yeah,
oh,
invested my money in this wrong company and got screwed over. So the amount of money that I started with, I was, I had. I'm still right now. I'm kind of ashamed to say this because of how old I am. But when I first started, I had 2 grand to my name. I was 32. I was also $8,000 in debt, which isn't a lot, but that was the first time I was ever in debt where I couldn't pay my debt off. So I borrowed some money from my grandmother, 3 grand. That was to get started with your course, and I remember talking to her about it, and it's a scam, or this could be a scam. So, but and that crossed my mind too because your course isn't the only course I've taken. Uh, there's been like other courses that I've taken, and they're just like, okay, this I really didn't learn much from that course or this, so it's just money wasted. But yeah, I was basically broke, and I had 2 grand to my name. Owed, I was $8,000 in debt. So with all that stress going on, and just being in a relationship, which isn't a bad thing, you would think that that's good. You have like a girlfriend you can talk to, but I'm not that. I'm not that kind of guy to go and burden my girlfriend with my problems. But there's just so much to deal with on top of learning how to buy and sell the mobile homes and not seeing anything happening on like week one, and that's expected. Nothing's going to happen on week one or week two or week three, but it was around week 4 where I got my first mobile home. And people that I've talked to about this, they say that that's pretty good. That's pretty fast that you got a home like that soon. Uh, but yeah, I remember those first 3 or 4 weeks just stressing out. Like I can't you can't sleep, especially when you feel broke at the age that I was. Uh, so much shame, really. I mean, I still feel shame for it, but I'm in such a better place right now. But
thank you for saying that to people. No, you know how many folks listening feel like that or have felt like that? And I know I have felt various forms of that, or like a failure.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Man, and then to borrow that 3 grand and have, so you're going on faith. I mean, you're going on faith. Like, I know, yeah, like I hope that road is there for me. I'm going to take this leap, putting out this money, and then you're putting in effort, like 3 weeks of effort before you get your first deal. A lot of effort. You were working. This was your full-time business job going right in. Okay, yeah, you.
yep. And I wasn't. I'd never had like, okay, I need to go get a job. I know there are ways to make money. On the side. Yeah, I know other ways to make money, but this was something that I had my mind set out on. Well, on the side, I would cut yards. I have a truck and trailer and lawn equipment, so I would cut yards. But that's I don't want to do that forever. That's hard work. I don't mind doing it every now and then. It keeps you in shape, but it also wears you out. Um,
And you're trading dollars for hours. I mean, or wait,
hmm
hours for dollars. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, of all your your properties that you've gotten into in the last year, are any of them yet? I think I know the answer. Are any of them yet buy and holds? Do you have any like like rent to own kind of stuff? Or rent?
Nope, no,
Okay.
I don't. And you know, I still go to parks every now and then and talk with the park managers just to see what's going on, see if I can buy a mobile home in that park. And they, you know, they suggest the idea, hey, if you come across one and you want to move it in here, we'll do this and that for you. Give you some time to get it ready before, you have to start paying a lot rent.
Hmm.
But honestly, like I just get so busy with buying and selling the mobile homes on private lands, which I'd rather do. When I buy a mobile home in a mobile home park, I'm just like, oh, do I really want to deal with this? But you do come across a nice mobile home. Yeah, well, let's kind of go back to my first mobile home that I got. When I
All
got
right.
it 3 to 4 weeks. In 3 to 4 weeks, yeah. And I remember that time calling you every day. And I remember
Yeah.
one Friday I called you guys putting out signs, and oh man, it felt so lonely, man. Because here I am working on a Friday, like Friday evening around 4 or 5, putting out signs alone, calling. I was like, John, like, is this gonna really work, man? Is this gonna pay off? Like, when am I gonna see some results?
I remember you saying
uh,
that
yeah. So,
a couple times.
yeah, yeah. So, finally, I had a guy call me like I think the next day, and I went to go see his mobile home Monday or Tuesday. It was in a mobile home park. I wasn't familiar with this mobile home park. I have been there because I put signs around the area, and walked in and was like, okay, yeah, this mobile home. It was a 1980s one, a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Had an AC unit, which is good. Most of these older homes most of the mobile homes just don't have AC units. They're all window units. The AC units are attractive, but this guy had a heat pump that made. Do you know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
It, okay, it's the first time I learned what that was.
Ah, so well, cool. Okay.
And yeah, he was asking like 4,000 for it. I ended up getting it for 3,500. So this is why I don't like to deal with parks, because I got it, uh, and he moved out, got the title, got the home cleaned. Well, it took me like 2 days to get everything out, which, when I looked at it the first time, I was like, okay, there's not a lot of stuff to get out. When I started working, getting all the stuff out, there was a lot to get out. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work. Uh,
There's
okay,
that
so
workout you talked about, right? That's
yeah, but
if you don't.
that's the kind that I don't care to do.
Okay.
uh, so so there's going to the park office, filling out an application, getting approved, and you kind of think, what if I don't get approved? But yeah, you get approved and clean the mobile home out. Get it ready. Uh, this mobile home was my first one. I had it longer than any of the mobile homes that I've had now.
Oh wow.
Uh, I felt like I got a good deal on this mobile home because it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, still in pretty good condition with the AC unit. Got it for $3,500. Well, had to pay that month's lot rent, which put me up to like $4,000. That the lot rent over there was like 525, or maybe
Hmm,
sometimes 525 to 575.
that's a good price.
Uh, so pay the lot rent, and so I know how much I'm in for it. Well, one day I'm going to Mississippi to go visit some family, and I have people going and look at it. This guy is going there, and he calls me. He's like, man, you got broken glass all over your deck, this and that. I'm just like, no, don't tell me that. Like, and I'm like, are you kidding, or are you being for real? He's like, yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, there's busted windows. So this is my first deal.
Damn,
So
I forgot about that.
yeah, going to
People broke
Mississippi.
in?
Yeah, people broke in. Yeah, people broke in, busted the windows on the left and right side of the door. Busted the door has a window, one of those diamond windows. Busted that
Yeah.
window. Uh, and I guess they were in there, smoking a little bit of marijuana because it smelled like weed when I got back.
Dude, what
Uh,
ass.
oh, not to mention, right before all that, in this area, we had a power outage from a storm. We didn't have power for like 3 weeks.
Wow.
So that was miserable. And luckily, in that mobile home park, a tree don't fall on my mobile home, but a few trees fell on some other mobile homes.
Wow.
So, oh my gosh, if that would have happened to me, I wouldn't have given up. But like I said, I think I would have. Uh, so coming back from Mississippi, while being away and knowing that my windows are busted out, I'm stressed out. This is all my first deal with the situation I'm going through. Uh, come back, find out that there was some shootings in the park,
Oh, that's
which
right.
yeah,
I remember that one now.
which
Okay.
made the news. Like this mobile home park made the news. There were some shootings in this park, and it made the news. So yeah, I don't think anybody's going to come to look at this mobile home. And then a couple of weeks later, there was another freaking shooting. It was just miserable. Uh, Eventually, like a little over a month, I had to pay another month's lot fee. Eventually, found some people to buy it,
Yeah,
and uh,
that's right.
wish that they would have went and talked to the park manager, which I told them to, but I was so desperate to get out of this deal, I didn't care. I ended up selling it. I don't remember what I sold it for. I think I sold it for either $8,000 or $9,000. Uh, but it was a cash deal, so that was good, and that was my first deal. And during this time, I didn't want to take on any more mobile homes because this was so stressful for me. But finally closed on that deal and moved on to the next one. Or finally found some other ones, and yeah, things got a little bit better after that.
The well, you're not gonna have you're not going back in that park, right? Or that was the
That was my first deal, and that was back in like maybe sometime in June. I never went back to that park. I actually went back to that park a couple of weeks ago just to go check it out.
oh, okay.
So, maybe now that I'm a lot more experienced, got about a year on me, I thought, okay, maybe I can handle it differently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did drive around just to look, but I was like, I'm just so traumatized about this park. I don't want to be here.
Was that manager, those people did get approved? So you sold the home to them before they got approved, but it sort of
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
out where they got approved. Okay, you were just happy to get the money and get out of there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they never went to the park office. They bought the home and they got it moved out. And I
Oh,
remember, I
okay.
remember talking to you like, what if they don't move the home? And you're like, they're gonna move the home. It's like, yeah, John, but what if they don't? I had to keep paying month
Well,
after month, the lot rent,
true.
and
Was well,
and
probably
the
not. They would have gotten approved eventually.
yeah, yeah, uh, and the park managers there. I mean, they're good people. They're just doing their job, but uh, uh, I got nothing good or bad to say about them. They're
That has traumatized you from parks. I where they're
yeah,
not all like that. That was
yeah.
an
Well, no,
odd
they're not all like that.
circumstances. No, they're not. And did this manager, was she okay with it being pulled out of there, or she didn't put up a fight?
No, no, she wasn't okay with it being pulled out of there.
Oh,
This
she
lady has gone and stood in front of mobile homes for them not to get
that
pulled out.
kind of woman. Okay.
Yeah, but she's just so like serious about her job. She's a likable person, but she just she takes her job serious. You know,
Took it on her bad side.
yeah. And these people like these park managers, they I don't know how they don't understand that like the home isn't yours. You don't possess the title. Somebody else possesses the title. Like this home should get moved off whenever. If somebody wants to move it off, if they own it, they should move it off.
Well, that is the facts. That is the facts. That's they would like to keep it. They would like to do what they can to stop that. But
But
yeah,
that's yeah,
that is
it's just a little wild sitting in front of the mobile home, not letting it get moved. It
that. And part of me is like, I don't like that, but then the park, the side that owns parks, I'm like, that was a good manager. Like, do that,
yeah,
just
yeah,
stamp
yeah.
out
I,
and don't. But no, it's not. I've had that happen though. Um, so back then, it totally makes sense that that was your, like, you didn't want to touch another deal. And that's so common. You get into your first or second deal and you don't market, you don't keep advertising, you don't go to any more appointments with sellers. Now, I feel like you're comfortable doing 2, 3 deals at a time.
Oh
Is that right?
yeah.
I know you are.
2, 3. I try to do 4 if I can, you know.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah. I like to try to juggle them, you know. So
that's right.
yeah. Uh as long as really on private land, yeah. I get in that park or maybe another park similar.
Mhm.
I don't I just don't care to do it, you know.
Oh, so you would say no, you would turn down a decent opportunity in a
No, not
park.
a decent. If it
Okay,
makes sense,
okay, okay.
if the money's there,
That's what I wanted to hear.
I'll take it, you know. Like
You're a smart guy. Yes, yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
You're no dummy.
yeah, yeah. See, I've you know, watching other podcasts about people who deal with mobile homes, I come across some people who say, you know, I won't spend more than 5 grand on a mobile home. I'm like, okay, well, the mobile homes that I've come to, like if, you know, I negotiate the deal and I get it for so much, I'll spend 9 or 10 grand on a mobile home.
Mhm.
Uh, and if it still flips and it does
Right,
pretty good. Yeah.
you know
And
it's gonna be profitable. Why wouldn't
hmm
you? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But, you know, if I come across one that in one of these parks and it could be like another 1980s 3-2 and I have to put so much money into it and I'm only going to make like 3 or 4 grand off of it. Uh, yeah, it's just not worth the headache for me. Like, like maybe if I can sell it within a week, if I had a buyer lined up, if I knew that, oh, this buyer is actually looking for a home like this, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I'd get it, you know?
Your first deal, if I'm remembering correctly, when you sold that one in the park and made about 4 grand, you were pretty thrilled. I mean, to have the money in your hand and like to make that money and actually see it work. I'm pretty sure I remember you being so, maybe you were so happy just to get out of that park. Maybe that's what it was. But you had that 4 grand. Now it's like that's kind of skinny. Like I want to do a deal and make way more than that. Do less work and make more than that. So
Hmm.
that's like that's awesome. You've had enough experience now in a short period of time to know what your time is worth, what it's not worth. Would you say there was like a turning point of something or like something happened or clicked or that there was like a turning point that made it go from kind of sucky to like a smoother business?
Uh, eh, you know what I'm about to say? I think this was kind of like part of it. When you learn anything new, there's always that learning curve.
Mm,
So you know that it was like learning how to buy and sell the mobile homes or buy them, acquire them, and then you start to do so many of those, and some months go by, and you're like getting experience. Well, you know, like from June until December, no, like nothing was clicking. Like I was just like, well, I guess this is it. You know, like that. This is as good as it's gonna get for me. Yeah. Uh, but it was like in January when I came across this mobile home. Uh, it was a double wide, 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom. Really, it was like a five bedroom, 3 bathroom. Yeah, 3 bathroom, big place.
big place.
And it was an hour away from me. And these people were calling me about it back in December, and you know they were saying, we just kind of want to know for property. And I thought, okay, you know, another double wide, probably with a missing roof, you know. So I I just didn't care to look at it. But when after the holidays, after Christmas, I decided to give them a call back, and I went to go see it. And I'm pulling up, I'm like, surely this isn't it. Surely this isn't what they're talking about. I pull up, pretty nice place. I go in and on the phone talking to the lady. She just made it clear that she wanted to offer property. It's like, okay, you don't want anything for it. Nope, just want to offer property. Went to the place, met her husband there. You know, I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, so you don't want anything for this? Nope, we just want to offer property. Like, you just want it off your property. You don't want anything for it. He's like, nope. It's like, okay. And so I told him what I was going to do. And he's like, okay, so you're going to broker it. It's like, yes, sir. That's, you know, I'm going to find a buyer for it and get it moved off your property. Uh, but I didn't, I said that later on, a couple of days later. I was like, all right, well, let me take pictures, talk to my partner, and I'll get back to you. So I called him a couple of days later. And I brought it up again. Okay, so you don't want anything for this mobile home? Nope, just want it off our property. Okay. It was this deal. I meeting these people. Uh, this mobile home, I held on to for a month because I had so many people come look at it. Uh, but I think I knew what I had. I had a pretty good mobile home. This was one of the ones I held on to for a longer time, but I would turn other people down because I knew I can get more for it.
Wow.
But just dealing with these people, getting a mobile home like this for free, and finding the right buyer was when it was actually a turning point for me. Like I think that was like, okay, this is what I needed for me to start feeling good about this. And I remember, selling it, making some money. Oh, I remember telling you, I was like, I'm about to close on the biggest deal. I'm kind of nervous, but you know, and you got the cookie. Like you don't have to sell it to these people. Like you're like you got the cookie jar. So I kept that in my head, uh, and yeah, closed on that deal. And I remember going to spend time with my sister and brother-in-law, and some other family over, hanging out with them, and just kind of telling them about it. And that was when things were just like I can breathe. Like I just felt like I could take a big breath right there. And it was after I closed on that deal, I really started like picking up some momentum. Yeah, yeah. It was all profit. Well, I did spend money on ads, and you know,
Absolutely.
I learned this. So my first deal, even though that was my most stressful deal, right after that, I picked up a second deal with a friend who does rentals.
Hmm.
That second deal was, uh, and then my third deal was doing a wholesale with the mobile home mover. But the more I kept on doing these deals, like, okay, with the second deal, that friend and I did rehab work on a mobile home. Uh,
That's right.
yeah,
I remember
and
that thing.
and I've learned that I guess over here, in my experience, you can get a home for so much and fix it up for so much. And this is what I tell people. Like, let's just say I bought a mobile home for $5,000. I fix it up. I put another $5,000 into it. I'm in at 10 grand. I'm only able to sell it for 15 grand, $5,000 profit.
Hmm.
Uh, I would much rather just buy the home for $5,000, sell it. Somebody's going to buy it for $10,000. You save so much time that way. But my thing is, I'd rather buy it, clean it up, so the buyers can see any and everything that's going on with the home, like any and everything that what's wrong with it. Uh, and a lot of people when they see my mobile homes, they're like, "Why are your mobile homes so nice? Like your mobile homes look so nice. Like, do they look nice? Like, does this 1980s with the soft spots and need some work? Does it look nice? Oh yeah, compared to the ones that we go to and look at. Okay, well, and I tell them, well, yeah, when I buy them, I get some men in there and they clean it up, get everything out, so people like you can go and see what kind of work you need to do to it. Uh,
There's way more people with like 10,000 than 15 or 20,000. So making it more affordable for them. But I'm glad you learned that lesson. Like, and that was something that we talk about, or that a lot of people do kind of want to just fix it up and make it look prettier. But when you're so right, like when the customer comes, they're looking at all these homes that are just trashed out or terrible. And here comes yours that I hope, were you ever embarrassed, like showing somebody a home and then they say that they're like, oh, so nice.
oh, when it says no, I wasn't embarrassed. I was like, well, they think it's nice. That's makes me feel good. I
Okay.
was embarrassed when the friend and I did rehab work on my second deal. When I told him like, look, we should just gut this. That needs to be taken out because this place. I put it on the Facebook. It was roach infested.
With the bugs.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
man. That looked like
yeah,
a horror film.
yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
That
I
was awesome.
learned I learned two things with this deal. Uh, Never work with a partner again, and never buy a mobile home with roaches.
Well, that's gonna be. Have you really not bought one with roaches since?
Since then, yeah, nope, won't do it.
Really? Okay.
Won't do
Well
it. But
then.
but really, I haven't come across any more with roaches.
Okay. Okay.
You come across some with some giant water bugs or those giant cockroaches,
Yeah.
which those giant roaches don't bother me. It's those little German roaches. Ugh, ugh. Yeah, it is.
Still having nightmares about that.
Yeah. uh, but yeah, that friend and I, he had some laborers that came and worked on the home, which was kind of funny because I told him like, hey, we should tear this down and tear that down. Oh no, that's too much work. We don't need to worry about doing that. When the laborers showed up, they suggested tearing this and that down. Like, didn't I say we should? And so we ended up tearing that down. But uh, well, I could get into more about that, but the only home I was ever embarrassed about was that one because we spent so much money on it. We put more money into it, and when buyers came to see it, they I can just see it on their face. Like, even though maybe the pictures look good, the pictures are one thing. When you actually go to the home and you see it and you smell it, it's a totally different thing. Like it, and this mobile home too. It was a 1990s 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, pretty big one. Uh, Structurally, it was in great condition. Like, I think the studs in this home, the studs were like 2x6s, plywood floors, uh, metal siding, which I know the metal siding is ugly, but it seems like these mobile homes with the metal siding, I don't think they're ugly. I mean, I know, other people prefer vinyl siding, but these metal siding ones, they last a whole lot longer, it seems like.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I've learned from some people who have their own mobile home parks in this area. They have these mobile home park owners have nothing but metal siding mobile homes in their park. And they say,
Interesting.
well, we had those because they last the longest.
Wow.
So, uh, but yeah, that second deal with a friend, I was a little embarrassed with that one because even when we did the rehab work on it, it just looked ugly.
Yeah.
And we didn't go all the way with it. We just put flooring down and painted the walls and fixed all the holes in it. But while I'm talking about that second deal, let me tell you the story with this one.
Please.
I'm actually on my way to go to my first deal, and this mobile home, which is in another mobile home park, was on the way. So I stopped by, like, I call the guy, like, hey, I'm here. He's like, okay, hey, my wife or girlfriend should be there. She'll let you in. I knock on the door, nobody answers. So I'm like walking around, knock on the door again, and I hear somebody walking inside. Uh, Knock on the door one more time, and I see somebody peek through. This is gonna sound like it's gonna kind of sound like trailer trash, but I see somebody peek through the not curtains. They just have like a blanket,
Okay.
or like
Not, yes.
tinfoil.
Yep.
Yeah. So I see like the blanket move a little bit. I'm like, okay. So I call the guy, and he shows up. He's like 5 minutes down the road at work. He shows up, man. He shows up, unlocks the door, opens it. I'm like, 2 feet behind him. This smell just hits me. Whoa. Like, I don't know what that smell is. Uh, he walks in. He starts cussing his girlfriend or wife out. Like, you can't answer the fucking door. Like, oh my gosh. This is awkward.
Just
But I walk in.
right.
Yeah, yeah. I walk in and I'm trying to look for the camera on my phone, pretend like I'm taking pictures. I don't even want to be in there because that smell hits me. He's cussing his girlfriend out. And also, I see roaches just there. I see roaches there.
Damn.
I don't want to be in here. So I'm like kind of pretending taking pictures. I'm probably only in there for a minute. I walk out. I feel nasty. Just the smell and just the whole situation. Um,
Mm.
and he was asking for 8,000, and I walked out and I was just like, well, by chance, would you take 4,000? It's like, man, I'll burn this place down before I take 4,000 for it. He said some other words. I was like, okay. Well, actually, I never called him back. A week goes by, and he's like, hey, did you ever talk to your partner about that mobile home? It's like, yeah, man. Like, the least, I said 4,000 when we met, but honestly, it's going to be less than that. And he started going off on me over the phone. He wasn't letting me get a word in, and then I finally cut him off. I was like, look, maybe I was a little rude to him when I started talking to him. I said, look, you got holes in every room of that mobile home. Uh, you got a bad smell in there. your wife or girlfriend, she was like blocking the master bedroom. So I don't even know what that looks like. On top of all that, that place is roach infested. And after I said all this to him, he just kind of like, he shut up. He's like, well, I appreciate your honesty. Uh, it's like, well, just give me a call back if you come up with another deal or whatever, or another, better offer. It's like, yeah, okay. And I did have a few pictures of it. I showed you, and that's when I showed the friend of mine before we went on the deal. And in the pictures, yeah, everything looks good. Like it's actually a very solid place. But the smell and it being roach infested was just, yeah. But that was my second deal. Oh, that was my second deal, and it was the worst deal I've ever had. I
You,
think I
you
was in it.
you
Was
didn't do that one though. You never did do that one.
No, no, I did. That was I
He
sent you
called you
pictures.
he called you back. The guy it was roach infested one.
Well,
That's the one.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
okay. So
sent
he
you.
eventually did call you back.
I called him back because I showed you pictures of that home,
Yeah.
and you said it looks like a solid place just from like the walls and the plywood. It had plywood floors, and I showed the friend of mine, and he's like, yeah, that's a solid place.
Oh, that's
So
right.
okay, yeah, him and I decided to go in on it. I don't know if you remember, but after we were done, I showed you pictures. It was with like the green walls.
Yes.
I mean, but that was the worst deal I've ever done. I think we were in it for like $9,000 or
Wow.
$9,500, and I sold it for like, I don't know. I think I sold it for 9,000 or 9,500. I know I lost $100 on that deal.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Is that the only deal that you've lost money on?
that's the only deal that I lost money on. Yeah,
What were the take so the partnering with the partner, it sounds like you kind of gave up control of what you wanted to really do. You lost control a little bit. And then you had to split the profits if there were going to be any profits with him. What also like, yeah, why didn't you ever work with, because I think now you're sort of anti-partner. What what lessons did you quickly learn in that one deal that you don't want to have a partner again?
well, with that person, see him and we I'll say we both have like I would say we're both kind of controlling. Not like controlling like you do what I say, but it's kind of like it, I don't know. It is kind of like that. But
You both think you're right. I mean, or you believe like
yeah,
you have the
it
best
was
intentions or
yeah, it
like,
was like with the situation. I said, hey, we should tear down this wall,
you know,
gut it, and he didn't want to gut it. But when his crew got there, they suggested
oh,
gutting it.
that's
So I was
right.
like, well, man, that's what I said. Like we should. But here's something else I've learned. Like he has a renter's mindset.
Oh,
And I think that's where like he has a renter's mindset where I had the mindset of just like, flipping it, buying and selling. And I think that's where things like just went wrong and didn't work out because also
big
while we're
time.
like fixing things up, it's like, hey, don't you think we need to go back and work on this? He would say, oh no, don't worry about it. We're not going to live here. We don't have to look at it. Like, but it's our work. Like, but
Big time.
so yeah, after that deal, I learned, okay, I think we're just better friends. I'd rather not partner with him.
Good.
Uh, so yeah, that was just a good learning experience. Uh,
For yes. Seriously. Get that out of the way like in the beginning.
yeah, get that out of the way. And yeah, there's so much more I can talk about with that second deal. But yeah,
Is there but you were already in it, you kept pushing forward. You eventually did sell it and then move on to much better
yeah.
deals. Are you saving up for something? Is this or not? Well, like what's the next step? So you're saving up cash now, I would assume, from the all these flips and wholesales.
hmm
What is the next step in your plan for
The
real
next
estate
step,
investment? Yeah.
I
Or
don't know.
is it just
Well,
keep doing this for a long
well,
time?
yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this for a long time. But honestly, like, there's no way I can, like, if I keep doing this, yeah, I'm gonna have money coming in, but I'm also gonna just have money doing this and like nowhere to put it. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with that.
Cool.
I'm definitely not gonna put it back into crypto or anything like that. So I mean, I
Never
wouldn't
say
mind.
never.
Mm,
Okay.
I,
Okay.
well, I won't have anybody trading it for me. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, okay. Just like
Because
that.
that's what happened. Uh, I don't know. I mean, maybe if I can have like some mobile homes, like quite a few in a mobile home park, I don't want to drive all over town. I don't want to go here and here and here to make sure things are going good with having these mobile homes in a park and dealing with the tenants and the managers. I don't want that on my plate. I like just doing the buying and selling because once the deal is over with, it's kind of over with, which sometimes not all the time because some past deals do come up to kind of bite you in the butt. Like I have experience dealing with some mobile homes on private land, and I don't know if it's the buyer or maybe a mover or something, but some other property will get stolen, and
Let's
it's
talk about
there.
one of those. I think people listening are like, what's going to bite you in the butt? Yeah. What's one example like that you can think of?
Oh, okay. So actually, with the double wide, the people we just want to offer property.
Okay.
Um, I asked them like, you know, what do you want? Like any when I clean these homes up, sometimes you just can't. You're not going to get everything out. So I let them know, hey, everything that you might want is in the living room or it's in this room. So just go through and look at it before these people come to buy it. And honestly, I guess sometimes these sellers don't go back to the home and check it out. But they did have a mower in their backyard, a lawnmower, and it was. I'm not gonna say. I don't want to say a junk. I mean, I'll say it was a junk. It was a piece of junk. But to them, it meant something. It was like to them, it was a sentimental thing because I think it was his dad's.
Oh,
But one of their mowers came up missing, and that came up to bite me in the butt. And I was like, oh gosh, I felt bad. I was like, hey, is there anything I can do to make this right? And it makes you feel any worse. It makes you feel worse when they say, no, there's nothing you can do to make it right because, like what can you do? You can't. They don't want a new mower. They want that mower because it's sentimental. Just like, well, there's the best thing you can do is just leave it alone. Like leave the situation alone. That's really what I've learned. Uh, there's that, and then that has things like that has happened a couple of times. But to my defense, I tell the sellers like, hey, we put all your stuff on the back porch, or we put all your stuff in this room. Like, you know, come get it. You know, there will be people coming and look at this mobile home. And I do tell the people coming to look at the home, don't take anything. Like just go look at the mobile home. But things come up missing.
things can come up missing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
We did a podcast with Natalia, and she had a good suggestion. If you are close enough to the neighbor's home and you can use some of their Wi-Fi, you can get like a $20-$30 camera on Amazon that's battery operated, and then you can put that right by the front door or inside the home, and then use the neighbor's Wi-Fi, like split the Wi-Fi bill with them. Usually, it's
Oh,
better in a
okay.
park because on land there might be like acres of land, and that doesn't isn't going to work.
Yeah, most of the time there is
Okay.
in my situation. Uh, but I want to talk about that in a second. But sometimes I do put up dummy cameras.
Oh, good, good.
And sometimes I do just put up signs like smile, you're on camera. Like even if there's not a
Yes.
camera, you know.
Smart. Smart.
But
Make them
and
think.
some of these people they have cameras on their property, but dang, these people end up taking stuff anyways. It's just like
That is the minority, but that definitely does happen. And the people
yeah.
should get their stuff out ahead of time. Like that's normal if you move out of a home and you leave it. I mean, you should kind of figure like, okay, I've got all my stuff out. I'm leaving. Lyndell has the keys. There's a chance I might not get this back. But you are super thoughtful and super yeah, thoughtful. Like really you care about others, how you're perceived, how others think of you. You want to be liked.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
want to do the right thing.
Yeah,
So that
I
puts in
think
balance.
that as long as I try to do the right thing, I'll have a good reputation here in this area. Like I want people to think, oh, like Highway Homes. That's my business name, but Highway Homes. Lyndell with Highway Homes. Like, yeah, he made everything easy for us. But yeah, that's buy, clean, sell. That's what I do with that.
That's pretty
But
great. Have you ever had a situation that what was like one of the most stressful times besides that first or second deal? Was there any ever like super stressful times? Because I feel like this business changes you in a good way. I've said this a number of times, like as a person, because you're dealing with not just real estate and numbers, but people, emotional people who can lie to you, who can steal or cheat or
oh yeah,
just, I don't know.
here is
Uh-oh.
aside from the first deal,
Uh-oh.
which is okay. You gotta think. My first deal was just so stressful. I told you about my second deal. My third deal, a mobile home mover called me about this double wide that he just acquired, and I guess mobile home movers they get free homes too. So he just got this free home, a big double wide. It was 1980s. Really needed a lot of work, but you can see that if a family comes here and gets it, like they can really do something with it. So he called me and told me about this double wide. I went over there. I met him. First time meeting him, the original sellers are there on the front porch, just smoking their cigarettes. I show up, meet him. He introduced me to them as if like he knew them, as if like he knew them for years. I'm like, okay, all these people know each other. I go in, I take pictures. I'm like, okay, let me see what I can do with this. The mover's like telling me what he wants to do with it. Like, hey, just find a buyer, see if you can find a buyer for this, and I'll get it moved to that location. Like, just do what you got to do. I say, okay, yeah, I'll make it some money. Uh, so take pictures, put some ads out for it, and found some buyers. Uh, well, well, I meet the buyers there, and my first few deals, I was going to the mobile home each time a buyer was. I want to say this too to anybody who's starting and to the people in the past. I've heard stories like people driving to the mobile homes, waiting for the potential buyer to show up, and they just don't. I quit doing that so long ago. Like I think I quit doing that on after my third or fourth deal, which I think I've done like I don't know between 25 to 30 deals by now. Yeah, and what I do before buyers show up, I know I'm kind of getting off, but what I do before buyers show up, like, hey, um, call me, let me, talk to you. All right, I'll send you the address after you know, tell me your name, send me a selfie, photo ID, and the vehicle you're gonna pull up in. Once you send that to me, it has to be like good enough. They don't send me all four of those, but it has to be like good enough to where if somebody steals a freaking mower, I have your information. uh, and okay, yeah, once you send that to me, I'll send you the exact address. Okay, so I send them the address. I'm like, all right, once you get there, give me a call. I'll tell you the lockbox combo. Okay, so I make it to where when they get there, they have to call me again. So I'm really like just checking on them in that way. But anyways, this third deal. So I ended up finding some buyers for it, and this was so stressful because the buyers show up with cash, 16,000 cash. Um, Most of that goes to the mover. And I think I like for my cut I got $1,000, which I was like okay, I'm fine with that, because it didn't take me long to do this. But here's the thing that really stressed me out. I met the mover that one day. Um, he was in like one of those trucks. I don't know what the name of those trucks. The moving trucks,
Toter
a
trucks.
toter. Yeah, okay. I was gonna call it a toter, but I wasn't sure if it was that. He wasn't a toter, but I didn't get any other information from him. I was like, is this guy legit? I remember like a couple of days went by where we closed on the deal, and I called you. I was like, John, I really don't know if this guy's legit or not. I'm starting to get the idea that he's just good. This this mover, he's a very likable guy. Like aside from business, he is a guy that you wouldn't mind being around. But when it comes to business, oh man, he's just such a crummy. He doesn't know how to run his business.
Dude,
But
every other real mobile home investor listening is like shaking their head up and down, like, yes, all my movers suck. Like so many
yeah,
movers around us, they can't operate. It's like, how are you even in business? Anyway, sorry to
yeah,
interrupt you, but that is, oh.
yeah.
And then he got paid up front, right? Like
He
before
got
he
paid
moved
up.
the home, he got 15 grand to
Yep,
go and party or do whatever.
do whatever. Yeah, to do whatever. And and I thought that deal was done with. So, okay, I helped this family find a home. I helped the mover. I made some money. Like it was a win-win-win situation. Oh, also I helped the original sellers. We're gonna get this mobile home moved off their property because that's all they wanted.
Yeah.
They were like, free home. That mover got that home for free. Uh, so some time goes by, and the original buyers are messaging me talking about the home's not moved. And like this is a month that goes by. I was like, the home's not moved? Like what's going on? So come to find out, like a month goes by, or maybe a couple months go by, this mover hasn't moved the home.
Couple
I,
months.
yeah. I actually haven't heard from the mover. I could get into some other stories with this guy too. Going on to my fourth deal, which my fourth deal was it was a home run, man. It was a home run. But that mover was involved in that deal. Uh,
Oh, with the
like
lady.
just with blocking it for another company to come pick it up from Texas. But so yeah, a couple months go by, mobile home is not moved, and then the buyers are threatening to sue me and the mover because I am the one. I'm actually the one who took the cash from the buyers to give to the mover. Uh, Man, I'm thinking, crap. This is what mobile home investing is, huh? Like my first three deals just so stressful. After a while, I figured out that what? Sadly, if these buyers wanted to sue us or take us to court or something, there's probably nothing they can really do, which is sad. But because there was like no receipts, it was just like money given, like you know, hey, I'll give you this money for you to move this mobile home. Uh, So yeah, a couple months go by. Actually, 3 months go by. Mobile home's not moved. The mobile
Wow.
home, I think this deal happened in like August or September. That mobile home didn't get moved until like January.
And it was kind of because of you, right? Didn't you put pressure on this guy to move it or
Well,
guilt him or like
look,
have
look.
words with him?
Yeah, this is what. Well, kind of. Yeah, but this is what I had an idea about this guy. Like he's a likable guy. Likable people, I can tell like what kind of tendencies they have, like kind of narcissistic tendencies.
Manipulate. Yeah.
Yeah, manipulation. So I like, okay, I need to make this guy feel like he can trust me, and he can trust me. He really can. Like I am. I'm not trying to brag on myself, but I am an honest guy. Like I'm not. I'm not going to do anybody wrong, and I haven't. Uh, so I kind of got in with him, like, because at first he was like dodging my calls when this all happened. Like, okay, I kind of get it. Eventually, he uh he kind of got to know me and we started liking each other, and sometimes I would just stop by his place and just talk with him every now and then and hey, like what's going on with that double wide, like letting him know that hey, I'm your friend, but this needs to be taken care of too. Uh but yeah, I mean eventually he finally moved it and I was just like I'm glad that's over with. Really didn't and me being kind of naive and not knowing the whole mobile home moving business,
Hmm.
I was kind of trying to help him out because he always made us. He does play victim. So
Oh,
I would find deals, mobile homes for him to move for me. Even though until this day, I really have not had to move a mobile home. I don't have to have them moved. Like I can negotiate the deal in a way to where I don't have to have it moved.
nice.
Uh, so I helped him. So I would have him move the mobile home onto some property, and I would sell it on that property. Like so he'll make some money, I'll make some money, and the buyer will be happy with the mobile home. Also, he'll have to move that mobile home to that buyer's property. He's making more money.
So
So,
how many times have you used him in total, do you think?
uh, uh, 3, 4, or 5 times, maybe
Okay, so
3 or 4 times. Yeah,
and you have a piece of land that you can move a home to and then sell it from that land if needed?
yeah, yep. So actually, here, you know, we live in the country. My grandmother's property.
Nice.
So, uh, and she's been okay with it. At first, she was like, "I don't want mobile," and I don't blame her. I don't want mobile homes on my land, and I don't blame her. But she has so much land, and it's all I take care of it, or I get guys to take care of it. So it's all taken care of and maintained. And with mobile homes, the mobile homes that have been on it, it it doesn't look like a mobile home's been sitting on there for years.
Okay.
Kind of looks like it's on a on a lot, like in a dealership, you know?
Yeah, you're respectful. I mean,
Yeah.
especially with your grandmother. Going back to that one where it was 16 grand, you took a grand, the mover got 15. That has happened only less than a handful of times to folks in the group. And well, it's happened the way that you kind of said, where like it backfired on us as the investor because you are taking the money and the buyer thinks, oh, you and the mover are together. It's the same company. It's like, and then you can even market it like that. I don't know if did you market the home?
Yeah.
16 grand includes move.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
that's
I,
probably not something, we wanted to do.
I talked to you about that. And after that, after this deal happened, I never did that again. And I would hang out with a mover and we would find, well, he would find mobile homes. He was like, hey, let's market this one. Like, nope. I tell him like, no, you you put such a bad taste in my mouth with the first one. I don't want to do it again. And like, I told him that. And like, honestly, all right, with this guy,
Sure.
like we ride together to go look at some of these mobile homes.
Oh, wow.
Like that is how
Wow.
that was how like we have good conversations, and when I say he's a likable guy, he is. Like, and that's me like trusting him to ride with me to go look at a mobile home. But that's also me like trying to build a freaking relationship with him. I was just kind of thinking if I can build a relationship with this guy, like we can do good things together. But but it's after a while I just learned that okay, this guy is he's gonna play a victim every
Isn't that
time.
wild? We want to think, you and I, we project what we think onto other people. Like, this is awesome. We're both excited. We're both going to make money. We can grow together. We can do this stuff. Like, he's as ethical as I am. He's as hardworking as I am. And that isn't the case. And it doesn't make any sense. It's like, dude, the money's right there. You can just have your crap in, or, have your life together a little bit more and do what you like. It's just crazy. Like, but I don't even think why anymore. Why is he like this? Why is he not, more business minded? It's like, no, that's just the way he is. And there's people like that everywhere. My first deal, I paid up front half to have it moved. And then since then, I mean, the very first one a long time ago, and now I haven't personally, me and most others, we don't pay for, and this is for folks listening, don't pay for a move up front. Wait till it gets there, then you can pay the mover. Then they can set it up, or they, set it up prior. But yeah, have them at least move it to that location, in my opinion.
I will say this, and this might be stupid of me. I will say this: if that mover contacts me, the one who has so much problems with about moving some mobile homes, I'll say his motto is this, and it's kind of funny. His motto is this: all up front, zero down. He wants to be paid in full. Like monthly fees. It's funny. When he first said that to me, it was funny. I want it all up front, zero down. He's being funny when he says it, but he's serious. But yeah, if he wants me to move, or you know, if he's looking for deals, I'm gonna tell him this: um, you move it, and then I'll pay you. And if
Big time.
you don't want to do that, then so be it. Only reason why I'll have you move it is just to help you out a little bit. But
And you're still a nice guy about it after
yeah,
all this.
yep. Well,
He comes
I don't know.
crawling
Am
back to
I
you.
am I a nice guy, or is it because I see the potential in the mobile home that I want moved?
Well, there's other people, but you're right.
Yeah, yeah. But what else was I gonna say about it? Well, I forgot.
So
But
that
yeah,
changed you though. I mean, like that, I am guessing, I'm making a very educated guess that like that you didn't really have to deal with that so much prior to this. And like in this, like that changes you as a person in a good way. Like, glad you had that experience. Now you make, you're stronger, more resilient. You have more knowledge for the next one. You're not going to be walked on again like before.
yeah, yeah.
I think,
Uh,
I think.
Out of like the 25 or 30 homes, I actually have. This is a binder that I keep with all my deals in it.
It's getting
I'll
thicker and thicker.
probably, yeah. I wanted to save it just for this in case I want to look through it and tell you other stories. But I'll probably throw some of them away, because it's starting to get a little too full. But out of the 25 to 30 deals that I've done, I really haven't. have to worry about getting them moved. The ones that I have moved or have had moved, it was just to help the mover out. So I mean, it wasn't anything that I needed.
So most of the time the buyer will come with a mover, or most of the time they
Yeah,
just have,
yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah. And I don't know if it's like this for anybody else that you know that you've been working with, but in my experience, every mobile home that I've sold has been moved. Every one.
That it's not always like that for sure, but we take what we can get. We analyze everything that comes on our plate. And if it can stay, great. If it has to be moved, great. If it's in a park, great. I mean, we got to do our due diligence,
Yeah.
but that is seeming to be like what you find or what you're gravitating towards. It will change. And with the website that you're building, you will get more stuff in parks or attached to private land. Would you be open to like, yeah, you wouldn't be opposed to like buying the land if it was a good deal, right?
Oh, I would love to buy land. I get people. One of the questions that you sent me was like something I wasn't prepared to experience was the amount of people calling you, just not with mobile homes, but with other things about buying land. I've gone to look at land. There's this one guy in particular. He's so dead set on selling his land. At first, it was like 20 grand, and and uh, and it's about an acre. And the mobile home that's on it now just needs to be moved off and have another one on there. But I tried to buy it from him like a couple of weeks ago. He doesn't care to sell it now. What is going on, man? And this same guy, he's the guy who went to my first deal and was like, "Man, you got broken glass all over your deck."
Oh, wow, that
Yeah,
same guy.
he goes and looks at all of them, and before he goes and look at them, he'll say like, "Oh, this isn't the one for me." And he'll go and
Over
look at
time.
them. I'm like, "Hey, well, I know what you're looking for, and this isn't going to be the one for you." He'll go look at them, and he'll go and look at them anyways, and like, "Yeah, you're right, it's
Huh.
not the one for me." Uh, but I'll actually call him every now and then, or he'll call me, and we'll just talk, just about nothing.
That's
so,
pretty cool. I mean,
so,
yeah.
but now he doesn't want to sell his damn land, and it's in a nice place. It's on a hill, an acre of it with all utilities. Now he's asking like 23, and I'm sure if I wanted to buy it for 23, he wouldn't be sure about selling it. But whatever. I was so close to buying it from him too. Like 3 weeks ago, I was probably about to buy it from him. I was like, well, give me a call back. If I don't hear from you, I'll call you back. But I ended up getting busy with other mobile homes, so
Good.
yeah.
And you
But
continue to
yeah, I
stay
would
busy.
I would definitely buy land and
Okay.
do it that way.
Man. Adele, this has been awesome. Like, thank you so much. I'm looking at the time. It's been like, I know we talk on the phone and like
Oh
time
my
just flies
gosh.
by as well. And we didn't get into, I mean, we could sit down and we could talk for another few hours easily. And we do. So, any advice, anything that you want to cover that we didn't cover, any advice for someone that is like having trouble or thinking about throwing in the towel or on the fence or anything like that?
Yeah, I'll get some advice here in a second. I want to go back to something else.
Sure.
There is like, buying and selling mobile homes now. Like, there's only so much I can handle at one time, and then on the other end, my cash is just stacking up. Yeah, there is something else I want to do with that. Like, I don't know, maybe invest in a mobile home park some point. I
Yes.
really don't know what that looks like, but there is something else that I'm actually meeting with a financial advisor tomorrow to do something with
Oh,
my
cool.
money with stocks. But there is something else that I definitely need and want to do with my money. But any advice that I can give to somebody starting out, uh, really just do the work. Like put in the work, it will pay off. And go look at, you'll start getting those calls and just go look at them. Go look at the ones that you don't want to go look at. And me personally,
Mm,
I'll say this: don't say to somebody trying to sell their home, like if the home is close to you and you can go see it, I wouldn't recommend, hey, send me pictures, because it seems like most of the time they just don't. They don't care to do that. They want to meet you. They want you to come look at the home.
sure.
So like, don't be lazy, I guess.
Yeah.
Put in the work. It'll pay off. Uh, don't get mixed up with a bad mover. Oh, before you do any kind of deals with a mover, make sure they're legit. Like, look, look, see what their reputation is, because I'll tell you this much: the mover that I worked with, he has a bad reputation in this town. Yeah, when people hear the name Budget Movers, oh yeah, I haven't heard good things about them. Oh yeah, they were supposed to come do some tie downs on my mobile home, they still haven't. So any other advice? Don't be scared to call John every day and bother him. Oh man, I
Good
remember
advice.
the first few weeks I was calling you every day. And I remember this too when my windows got busted in that first deal, and you said, "Welcome to the mobile home business."
Then I
I did. I didn't want to talk to you, man. I didn't want to talk to you after that. I was like,
oh no.
you, I understand you have your own thing going on, but I was hurting, and that was not the last thing that was not the thing I needed to hear. But I'm glad you said that to me.
Oh dude, that's
You need honestly, I guess you kind of need to experience the uh the bad deals first, you know.
crushing heartbreak.
Yeah, yeah, you do. But don't be scared to call John and bother him.
It's
I feel like some days I called you and you're just like, just okay, Lyndell's calling me. Let me see what he needs help with.
no, well, that's good. Obviously, you're doing stuff. You always needed help. Well, I mean, but like, and then you acted on it. You took the advice, you acted on it mostly, and then new stuff happened, and no, dude, that's totally makes sense. And
And, and I'll say one more thing. I'm not, that mover. I just gave him chances. I gave him opportunities. I got screwed over one deal with him supposed to move one for me, and he didn't, and that's fine. But the more deals you do, the more some of my friends and family call me. They'll refer to me as a hard ass because
you,
well, yeah, yeah. Well, I am like I say no to a lot of things, and
yeah,
I know you know me like over the phone and like this, and I'm friendly. I like to think that I'm a likable person,
hmm
but I'm not a pushover. I will say this: the more deals you do, the more stern you'll get. You'll
that's a
learn
great way
like
to put it.
nope, and you'll be more honest with future sellers. Uh, you'll
That's
just get better, really.
that's a huge thing to say. You're so right. Know where your boundaries are at. Be like,
Yep.
nope, or just yeah,
You'll
you're so right. More
you'll put your
confidence.
foot down. Yeah.
Dude,
So
that's a huge yes. That's what a great way to say that. Something I've been thinking about, and like that's a perfect way to say it.
yeah,
Uh,
and I'll say if you're doing this alone, continue to do it alone. If you're doing it with your wife or husband or girlfriend boyfriend, if you started together, that's something different. Me personally, I don't think I could do that. But like with a girlfriend, or a wife, I just don't think I could do that. But
no, no, I feel you.
like I wouldn't get into it with a friend. Do it on your own. Like you'll like it. It'll pay off on your own in the end.